Hey, Thomas. So, your long wait is over. We're going to push ahead. This is your father's watch. Entirely original. He wore it, but he never abused it. Very late Sua. Beautiful unfaded dial. Well, slightly faded, but still that nice brick red. A little bit of fade on the dial printing down here on the 70LT. It's neither here nor there, but that's a little loose. Your cannon pinions. It's a little sloppy. We're going to have to work on that. Well, that's pretty... Right, that date isn't flipping over, right? God, that's gluey as hell. Date's not moving at all. Well, let's find out what that's all about. Okay. Let's do it. Here's a nice little illustration about one of the reasons I don't ever relume these flat dials. Because you can see, if you look carefully, like look at the 9 marker. Can you see the pattern in it? Because these things are screen printed, and they'll have like whatever the little printer thingy was, it was like a series of very fine dots in a mesh, and you can see that pattern. Some people call it a linen pattern. That's as good a thing as any, but you can see how it's supposed to look. In this particular case, like on the 9 marker, you can really see the edges, how that worked out. Usually when they did it, it looked more like it comes up, the loom relaxes after it was applied and it comes out more smooth and blobby, but not this one. The batch came out kind of high and stiff, especially, I mean, look at the 12 markers. And there's just no way to replicate that. I don't know any way to do that. But that's original. Pretty cool. Well, it's always a nice sight to see. Ignore that screw. We see here that the train bridge look, it's pretty clean. If we look at the pivots look pretty nice. Not a whole bunch of gruck and crap in here, which is cool. Next thing is to pull this. I'm going to see what we can do. Hang on just one second. Trying to narrate and yeah, usual thing. A little bit of the mainspring grease here, but not a ton. So here's a little bit here. But what do we see here? A tiny bit of the scoring that's starting of the ratchet wheel tipping over and starting to hit the train bridge. Not a lot, but some. Yeah. Pretty floppy. Okay, let's go. Okay, so here we go. And that's where we see there's that lower mainspring arbor port. See, it's this is all the lower mainspring arbor grease, the old dry stuff. It's worked its way out, and we see that you can see the lower mainspring arbor port. See, it's hollowed out, ground out to this side. You can see it's down to the brass. The lubricant worked its way out here, and some of it, interestingly, migrated to the underneath of the 4th wheel bushing right here. So there's this like little black corona around here. That's the same abrasive material. I'm hoping that didn't really get hit, but I'm gonna have to look closely at the wheel and this, see how it's going. But this is how you can have a relatively low miles watch and you still have that thing all blown out. That's the way it goes. Okay, well, what happened with the date wheel is it was hanging up for some reason. I haven't quite found out why yet, but this tooth right here, right, this is the quick set lever right in here. caught this tooth and the wheel didn't move, and that tooth got bent down. You can actually, there you go, that's a good angle. That actually got bent down, skipped over and bent down. So something was hanging up. Here's another interesting thing. This right here, this fiber, that was in there. I don't quite know what that's from. I'm gonna have to see. That looks like a plastic shaving to me. So we might have some issues with your day and date wheel. Yeah, that was under there. I don't quite know what that is. Yeah, that got stuck right there. Trying to push over the midnight. I bet you we're gonna find, I bet you anything, we're gonna find that this assembly is also damaged. So let's take that. Okay, so you can see when the wheel hung up, everything stopped and got forced. You hear the teeth for the date driving wheel? See how they're jacked up? Well, that's bad. I'll have to look carefully at the teeth on this intermediate wheel here. It was trying to push midnight. You can see it was almost about to click over here. That ruined this. This got pushed over. And that, obviously, this tooth right there got pushed over too. So we'll have to see what we got going on. You can also see the upper, that's the upper mainspring arbor port. You can see all the crap in there. And there's a fair amount of this black lubricant material in the top of this pivot right here, this jewel, for the bottom of the, or the top of the third wheel. So we're gonna see what we find, but that's definitely bad. Okay, so we had not one, not two, but 3 bent teeth on this date wheel. You can see them. You can see them. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. And this one was pushing around for so long it actually wore down to a mirror finish. So, I mean, 1 tooth I can straighten. I mean, 3 I could straighten, but at this point it'd be better for us simply to replace this wheel. So I'll do that. I'm not quite sure how this happened, but something was going wrong that caused this thing to bend the teeth down. I'm gonna look at your quick set lever because it might be bad too, but we'll figure it out. Okay, well, fresh out of the cleaner. Isn't it glorious? There's the new jewel for the lower mainspring arbor port. See how the other jewels are nice and clean. Nice shiny metal. Ready to go. Let's move on. Well, there we go. It's the first run in. I just dropped in the balance. So far so good. I haven't looked at the numbers or anything, but the balance looks good. We've got nice, clean, straight power. I didn't find any issues with this bushing at all. That all seemed good to me. I haven't yet assembled the calendar side. I looked at your quick set lever. It looked okay to me, but I'm gonna test it. I'm still not sure why that happened. Might have been just that the thing was dirty and the wheel was hanging up and it got forced on a quick set and got bent. I can't ever remember seeing another one that had 3 bent teeth. So something's going on. Yeah, this thing's got some sweet amplitude going on. I mean, I can see it. I can see the power in it. Yeah, okay, let me move ahead. So I figured out, it's what I suspected for what happened to your date wheel. This, let's see. Okay, so your setting lever is this big. It's like this wheel and this structure, and it goes up under here and it comes out over here to this, okay? It's like this, I don't know, R-shaped structure, if you want to call it that way. So this is when you turn the crown, this wheel can go back and forth to either quick set the day or the date. And sometimes to test components, really, you have to see them in place. So what I found is this thing is supposed to, no matter how slowly I turn it, it is supposed to engage. It should be turning over the date right now, and it's not. When it does engage the date, it does it erratically, and sometimes it'll lock in right when the right when the wheel is starting to push, and I saw it catch and try to push in the tooth that it was interacting with. So that's definitely the problem. So I've got to pull this back apart, and we're going to replace that. I just don't like to replace a part unless I can truly confirm that it's bad, and that's definitely was bad. Here is there's your old date wheel with the bent teeth. You can see right there. So we have a new one in place. So I'm going to replace that part. And okay, so now we have the new piece in. You can see it goes back and forth like that, the wheel. But then if I turn this, no matter how slowly I turn it, clicks along as it should. So that is going to be the end of the bent teeth. I have your old bad one is over here, and you'll get that back with your other bad parts. There it is. Okay, moving ahead. Okay, Thomas, round 2. I made a second video with a finish, but then we decided to change the day wheel. So here we are. There it is. I love the tan loom, the slightly tan loom, and on this late piece, that ever so slight tan little match. The hands and the dial and the pip are all the same, and with a beautiful unfaded text. So you've got your new date wheel in place there, and the new day wheel there. Here is your original day wheel. This is a good part. Don't get rid of this. This has real value. This is a 4 o'clock Crown 6309. It's a nice part. The rest of your bits I have are here, right in there. Out. There's all the junk. So your bad date wheel, your bad day selector, which is the problem that was creating this. It was also the thing that destroyed your date driving wheel, which is right here. So, you know, one thing happens and it all runs away. Here's your original crown seal. It's pretty flattened. It's supposed to be a nice donut, and it's thin and pressed up. Here's your original crystal. It's pretty good. It's got some scratches on it though, and honestly the clarity on ours is better, so that's what we went with. There it is. That's a really nice watch. It's a really nice watch. Really super clean. It'll be a great keeper for you. Great keepsake of your father. Well, that's it. Thank you so much.